ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We will start with the 8th chapter, Chanting. I think you all are ready. Just trying to figure out. First. JJS.
So my SG is first, right?
Yeah. Shall we start with the Dhyana Shloka, a couple of Dhyana Shlokas? And then move forward?
Yes.
Yeah. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamrutavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambattvamanusandathami Bhagavad-gite bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Sunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyam Tam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha.
So 8th chapter, I think 1 to 5 is my SG.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Sorry. So Ashtamod, I'm sorry?
No, I just announced it. Venkatramanji is 6 to 10.
Oh, okay.
Aniruddha is 11 to 15, Sri Vidya ji 16 to 20, 21 to 25, Manjula ji, 26 to 28, Surendra ji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ashtamodhyayaha Arjuna uvacha kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutancha kim prokta adhidhaivam kim uchyate adhiyajna katham kotra dehasmin madhusudana प्रयाणकाले च कथं न्यायोऽसि नियतात्मभिः श्रीभगवानुवाच अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते भूतभावोद्भवकरः विसर्गः कर्म संज्ञितः अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः पुरुषश्चादिदैवतम् आदियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र देहभूताम्बर अन्धकाले च मामेव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति समद्भावं यदि नास्यत्र संशयः.
Yeah, the second one was Prayana Kale cha katham jneyosi niyatatmabhihi. Yeah, and the fourth one was Adhi bhutam sharo bhavaha purushoschadhi daivatam Adhi yajnohamevatra dehe deha bhrutam vara.
Shall I continue?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you can start.
Yam va pismaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada that bhava bhavitaha tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya cha mayyat pitamano buddhir मामे वैश्यश्च संशयम् अभ्यासयोगयुक्तेन चेदसा नान्यगामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं यादि पार्थानुचिन्तयन् कविं पुराणमनुशासिधारम् कविं पुराणमनुशासिधारम् मनोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्धनात् सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्धन्याध्यायात्मनः प्राण आस्थितो योगधारणाम् ओमितेकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजद्देह स याति परमां गतिम् अनन्यचेताः सततं यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिना मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतं नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मनः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः.
अब्रह्म भुवनाल्लोकाः पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम् अहर्यद्ब्रह्मणो विदुः रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्तां देहो रात्रविदो जनाः अव्यक्तयः सर्वाः प्रभवन्त्यः रागमे रात्र्यागमे प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैवाव्यक्तसम्यके भूतग्रामस एवायं भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ प्रभवत्यः रागमे परस्तस्मास्तु भावोऽन्यत् अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यत् अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः यस्य सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति।
अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः तमाहुः परमां गतिं यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम। पुरुषः स परः पार्थ भक्त्या लभ्यस्त्वनन्यया यस्यान्तः स्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं ततं यत्र काले आवृत्तिं चैव योगिनः प्रयाता यान्ति तं कालं वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभा। अग्निर्ज्योतिरः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणं तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्मविदो जनाः। धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनं तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते। That's it. Thank you. Till 25 now.
Yeah. Shukla Krishne Gati Yete Jagataha Shashwate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Anyaya Vartate Punaha Naite Sruti Partha Janan Yogi Muyhanti Kashchana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna Vedeshu Yajneshu Tapassu Chaiva Daneshu Yat Punya Phalam Pradishtam Atyeti Tat Sarvamidam Viditva Yogi Param Sthanam Upaiti Chadyam Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Akshara Brahma Yogo Nama Ashtamodhyayah. Sarvebhya Namaskara. We had a small request to make in terms of regarding the activities of Asha Seva Kendram. I think all of you have been associated with Asha Seva Kendram for the last 2 odd years, 2+ years, or nearly 3 years. I think January we complete 3 years of the Bhagavad Gita course. We had actually sent out Jaykumarji had also mentioned in one of the sessions about generating funds for the different activities of Asha Seva Kendram, and there was a communication which had been sent out on 5th of October by email to all of you individually. We also noticed that many of the emails might have landed up in your promotions inbox and you may not have had a chance to look at it. So we thought that we'll share what we had actually sent to you and make a request for contributing to the activities of Asha Seva Kendram. You can see my screen, I hope. Yeah. So basically, we had sent out a mailer seeking help, seeking assistance in terms of funds for helping the activities of Asha Seva Kendram. We have a budgetary estimate of about 35 lakhs, which is close to about USD 50K. Roughly about $150 per day or 10,000 rupees per day is our budgetary requirement, and the requirement is broken up in terms of 23 lakhs towards Asha Gokulam children, which all of you are aware, where the Kendram supports close to about 70 odd children in their educational needs. Typically, these are underprivileged children. 8.5 lakhs towards temple revival, and this is one of the major tasks Srinivasanji is driving, where Nitya Puja have stopped in many temples across South Tamil Nadu, where there is an initiative which Srinivasanji is driving in terms of starting the Nitya Puja, getting people back to temples, and ensuring that the core of our spirituality is revived. Plus about 3.5 lakhs towards Veda Patashalas and Goshalas, which Asha Seva Kendram is supporting for continuing the tradition of Sanatana Dharma. In terms of Asha Gokulam, close to about, we have about 70 odd children who are supported, and these are some of the things, infrastructure that has been created over the last 1 year in terms of supporting these children. And the results from these children have been very encouraging, considering that these children come from dysfunctional families and underprivileged backgrounds. None of these children come from any privileged background or functional family. So what it basically means is that if somebody is able to give them, lend them a hand and pull them up, they can contribute much to the benefit of themselves, their families, and to the society in general. Veda Patashala and Goshalas are being supported by Arsha Seva Kendram. Temple Revival is a program which has been focused, like some of the major functions have been done. The current status is during this financial year, about 16 lakhs have been received. The children we need to support is about 71 children we need to support. Where does all this donation go? It basically supports the education needs of the children studying in schools and colleges. So this donation is critical for the children to complete their education, because Arsha Seva Kendram has committed to allowing the children to complete their courses for the year. So a shortage of fund would directly impact the education of these children, which we don't want. It helps in the children studying in the Veda Patashalas and the Puja revival of temples. How do you donate? Go to Asha Seva Kendram, the website, and there is a donate button. If you click on that, you should be able to donate. This is what I wanted to share. In case Mahesh ji or Anirudh ji want to add anything, I request them to add.
All good from my side, Narayanji. You've covered everything, and I think I would just second that plea that Narayanji has just said to us. So thank you very much.
This is a very targeted support. It is not a blanket support for across so many people. And some of them have yielded very good results. For example, there was a housekeeping staff working in Jayakumarji's house, and her daughter was in college. And when she completed 1 year, she was doing a 3-year degree course in India. And after completing 1 year, her mother came down with a heart problem, and so she could not do the work, and she was about to pull her daughter out of the college. And so Jayakumarji came to know of it and stepped in to support her for college fees for the 2nd and 3rd year. And a few months ago, when I was in Coimbatore, I came to know that I got some information, and where the student wrote saying that she graduated from the college in Coimbatore and she got an appointment order with Infosys. So these are all very, yielding results. It's not like we are giving some blanket distribution of donation or something to across the people. It's a very targeted, needy donation which yields result in a very short term. Moreover, there are many students who, many Sevaks who support these students in terms of career planning, in terms of vocational training, and anything you need beyond, including the subjects. There are several SMEs associated with this endeavor, and many of them work summertime or part-time somewhere, and they in turn, since they have gone through that, they also contribute to the Arsha Seva Kendram. So it's a very, very worthy cause. And as you all know, Jayakumarji and other trustees do a very good due diligence of, where the funds go. So, I mean, personally, from my perspective, I find it that you don't need to do any due diligence. It's a very worthy cause, and I happened to see some of them in the last 9 months when I was in India. So, as Narayanji said, I really appreciate and request you to support. Those of you in this group today who have joined and who have supported Arsha Seva Kendram based on the recent email which Narayanji mentioned, a very big thank you on behalf of Arsha Seva Kendram. Rest assured that your fund, your support will be well utilized. Namaste.
Thank you, Maheshji. So with that request, I think we can move into chapter 9 chanting. So we have Prasad ji, Haraprasad ji, Sunita ji, Madhavi ji, Mohan Sai ji, Bhagya Ramesh ji, and Raghavan ji in that order. 5 shlokas each. We'll start with Prasad Gurjala ji.
Before that, one more thing I would like to share, that after this, we will have a discussion regarding the Gita class and doubts. So I would request all of you to participate. This has been a long due. We have not been getting this opportunity to be in the satsang and discuss about our doubts and what our understanding is about the Gita. So please stay back. After the chanting, we will continue with the discussion. Thank you.
Prasad ji can start.
Yeah, thank you. अथ नवमोऽध्यायः राजविद्या राजगुह्ययोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात् राजविद्या राजगुह्यं पवित्रमिदमुत्तमं प्रत्यक्षावगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम् अश्रद्धधानाः पुरुषाः धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्सानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः न च मस्तानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः ममात्मा भूतभावनः. Thank you.
I'm not able to see Haraprasad ji. I think it's not there. Okay. You start.
Haraprasad ji is not there. Okay. यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र गोमहान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते.
I'm not seeing Sunita ji also.
Sunita ji is not there. Lakshmi ji, you can chant.
Okay.
Next.
अवजानन्ति मां मूढाः मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तः मम भूतमहेश्वरं मोघाशा मोघकर्माणः मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्.
Not seeing Madhavi ji also. So Vijay ji.
No, Sukanya ji wanted to chant. Can you give her a chant?
Sure. Sukanya ji. Sukanya. Okay.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ते यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं कर्तुरहं यज्ञः स्वधाहमौषधं मन्त्रोऽहम् अहमेवाज्यम् अहम् अग्निरहं हुतं पिताहमस्य जगतः माता धाता पितामह वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकार ऋक्सामयजुरेव च गतिर्भ्रता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत प्रभवः प्रलयः स्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तपाम्यहम् वर्षं निगृह्णां
निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च
निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदश्चाहमर्जुन.
One more.
त्रैविधा मां सोमपाहपुता पापः पापाः यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमशाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नाति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान्.
त्रैविद्यमां सोमपापूतपापाः यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान्.
Should I repeat?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mohanji.
तेतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रैधर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामिभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातस्य वन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवाः पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम्.
Bhagya Ramesh ji. Bhagya Ramesh ji from 26. 9th chapter 26. This 6 to 30.
Patram phalam. Patram
पत्रं पुष्पफलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्युपकृतज्ञामि प्रयतात्मनः यत्नरोषि यदश्नासि यज्ञुहोषि ददासि यत् यत्तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्पुरुषश्च मदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलैरैवं मोक्षसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेषोऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत्सु दुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यग्ज्ञौ वसितो हि सः.
Yes, Swarup ji. Yeah.
क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्ति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य ये अपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्याः तथा शूद्रा ते अपि यान्ति परां गतिम् किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणः पुण्याः भक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यं सुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम् मन्मना मम मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्तम् एवम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः. I think finish.
Om Tat Sat. Complete that.
That is not there.
Okay, I'll say that. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Raja Vidya Rajaguhya Yogo Nama Navamodhyayah. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Incidentally, December 4th is Gita Jayanti Day. So across many organizations, they do the full Parayana of the Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters. Typically, it takes between 2 to 3.5 hours, depending on the pace. So it's a good opportunity for all of us to participate in any of those programs conducted by so many organizations. So we can start preparing for that. Thank you.
So yesterday when I was talking to Mahesh ji had expressed that it's very important to continue our, apart from attending the classes, Gita classes, we should have our own discussion, forum so that we can know about it and think about it throughout the day, what we have learned, and then probably share some of our experiences with respect to Gita. Bringing it, it's basically to get Gita into our lives. How we can use the studies and all the time we spend with Guruji and how we can imbibe the teachings of Gita in our day-to-day life. So it's very important to have this active discussion forum in order to, imbibe it in our life. So it's a great opportunity if there are so many experienced people here, like Venkatramanji is here. We have even Har Prasad ji, but he is not here today. And we have Prasad ji, so many of them who have experience in the field, and maybe they can throw some light on, how it can be used, imbibed in our day-to-day life. And each one of your experience, how it has helped, because few days back we heard Sundari ji, who came up with such a beautiful, she shared a beautiful experience. Like, if I remember, she was telling that when she was, when she took over as a headmistress, I think a principal of a school in Amrita College or Amrita School, she was saying that the boy who actually had some resistance in chanting the Gita, he said, why should we simply chant during the travel when we are going in a bus? Why it should be imposed on us? Why can't we simply be on our own? And then few days later, he himself, she said, I'll get back to you about after discussing with our co-teachers. And then in a few days, the boy comes back saying that, no, we will continue this because I have found a lot of change and I am able to focus, and the things which I didn't understand in the class with respect to mathematics, science and things like that have become much clearer to me now. I think we should go ahead with this. So this was an eye-opener for me, and that motivated me to start a Bhagavad Gita session for kids, and what in a small way we can contribute to the learning of the Gita. And it, more than what it is helping the kids, it's helping me. That's what I have. So we always start some seva thinking that we are helping others, but actually it is helping us. So this is what I have experienced, that one talk what Sundariji shared in the class was a great eye-opener, and it helped me in such a great big way. I mentioned this to her also. So probably this forum can be used for such discussions where each one of us can get, I know most of you are doing a lot of seva already, but still I thought it's good for us to keep each of us charged to be thinking in the same lines. So please, you can go ahead and discuss. We will unmute, probably give them the.
Yeah, anybody who wants to speak can speak.
You can unmute and speak.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to say, I was reminded of something when Miraji was sharing this. I think it's Swami Chinmayananda ji who has said, no, somebody went to him and said that I have gone through Gita 3 times or 4 times. So he says, okay, that's good, but has Gita gone through you even once? So that is where I think what you're saying is where we have to now imbibe it and then share our experiences of the transformation that we have felt, right?
Correct. Very true. Very true. And if we realize that it's not that we are helping, we are doing, it is such a big blessing that somebody is giving us an opportunity to help. That is a blessing, because being associated with certain genuine, satsangis who are actually interested in doing something is like a blessing that we are able to be in their presence. So it's a real blessing that you all are there and we are able to do something, and you are able to contribute to the entire, cause. It's a very big thing. It's a blessing. Venkatramanji, you would like to share something?
I recently saw in WhatsApp a small clip showing a Swamiji organized chanting of Bhagavad Gita of 2,000 children in America. It was a thrilling experience to listen to that one. And nobody referred to the book. They just chanted by heart, everything. It was so thrilling. I think such a thing should be organized in India for young children who learn the sloka very fast. I read it 10 times a sloka, but I am not able to by heart. But small children learn it in 5 times, 6 times, they can repeat the slokas. So I think it should start in a very young age, the chanting of the meaning they can learn afterwards, of course it will come. But I think the first of all, chanting the Gita and by hearting as young children, like the pre-KG, the children, they learn all these rhymes, Jack and Jill went up the hill and all those things they learn. But why can't we learn in the teachers or these children, whether they don't know to read, write English, anything, but they can chant Jack and Jill went up the hill and all those things. But why can't we teach young children, especially Hindu schools, Gita? From sloka, everybody can chant. The children learn it in a few days. So that I think we should attempt in the schools, especially. I think already the Asha Seva Kendram, they must be doing it now. But young children at the age of 4, 5, was teach them Bhagavad Gita chanting.
Right. So in fact, there's a Gurukula in Bangalore called Sandipani Gurukula, again, Krishna's Gurukula's name. So we also support them. And that Gurukula actually runs Gita chanting classes in about 11 to 12 schools across Bangalore, starting from kindergarten up to 12th standard. Schools welcome them. So there's it's a co-scholastic subject for all these schools. So there's a positive trend we see in the last 3-4 years that many schools have now started asking for Gita chanting classes in their schools.
Fine.
That's a positive trend we are seeing.
Actually, to add to that, in Bangalore, most of the schools are teaching Bhagavad Gita. Most of the schools. It has become a part and parcel of our everyday learning.
That's very good to hear. Very encouraging.
Yeah. Because
I heard that the 2000.
I am associated with an institution called Malleshwaram Ladies Association in Bangalore. I'm the honorary secretary there. We have right from nursery to post-graduation, and throughout we teach Bhagavad Gita.
In fact, Lakshmi ji is also part of Sandipani Gurukula. He also goes and teaches on behalf of the Gurukula in a couple of schools.
Yeah. So in Bangalore, it is happening. Actually, in Karnataka, I can say most of the schools are adapting to this. And it has become, part and parcel of life.
Very good. Very positive.
Yeah.
The 2000 kids that Venkatramanji is mentioning, I heard that it's part of a program. What is that? I think Ganapati Sachidananda.
Yes, Sachidananda Ashram.
Based.
And I heard it's a very rigorous program, but they finished learning to chant the whole of Bhagavad Gita in 1 year. And they do like, I don't know, I don't remember how many, I think 3 verses per day or something like that. They have to.
Actually, Bhagyaji, to add to that, Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji Ashramam, during the COVID time, they started this, and it was everyday class. And you have to by heart 10, and because I go as a judge for the competition.
Right, that's
last
something I
year in TTD Bangalore, we just couldn't select the children. They were fantastic, and if I tell you, I don't know, to a 5-year-old boy, I bowed down and I did namaskara to him. He knew everything by heart. And Bhagyaji, the conviction the child had was, he said, he called Swamiji as Appa. Appa means father, okay? He said, I have promised Appa to learn, that I will learn. So I learned. There was no other thing. It was just a promise to the Guru, and he had learned it. All the 700 shlokas.
Every word separately first, and then so they know every word and with pronunciation, and every week they review what they've learned. So somebody corrects their pronunciation, so they learn it like perfectly. I heard.
And it seems, there's a competition amongst themselves, because if they don't tell them that, they are not, it's not continued further. So unless for the next week, so they have to do it. And it's a competition. It's a healthy competition among the children. And actually, in our Sandipini Gurukula, our children play Antakshari in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, we saw a video
And
of
our
that.
Guru, Srimati Rohini Chakravarti, she's trained more than 30,000 students across.
Yeah, Sachidanand Swamiji did a great job. The coordinators were very rigorous. My granddaughter was part of it. And they just said 4th chapter, 4th verse, and you've just got to chant. So they would say which chapter, which this thing, and they are able to chant very thoroughly. And pandemic was a great blessing, really.
Yes.
The children to learn and across ages. And they were so proud to receive the medals from the
Swamiji.
with the blessings of Swamiji when he went there recently. That was what Venkatramanji was mentioning. But it was a great change, and the children really have a lot of our scriptures and our Bhagavad Gita as well as Vedanta classes going on there. Taking it seriously, there are many people doing a great job in Seva. But like Venkatramanji said, we must take it to the schools.
Yeah.
Let's see. We should approach the schools here and see if we can have some particular part of the Gita at least played in the morning for them to get used to the vibes and then start learning it.
Tamil Nadu is going to be a challenge.
Yeah, with a
Actually,
lot of
in Bangalore, Sandipini Gurukula, we go to even international schools, and we do have children from other religions also chanting the Gita.
In Britain, they have so much. Yesterday, my friend was telling me she was offered in Bradford school. They said you have to come and finish the 18 chapters and be here and continue that. So the whole negotiation is still going on, but it's a Muslim school in Bradford, and the person wants everyone to know the Gita, because not because it's a Hindu philosophy or anything, but it's good for life. And she's dinned it into them, and they've started the chanting, but it's not so perfect. She heard of this friend of mine and she's asked her to come over, but it's still going on the negotiation stage. But so many outside have it, so we should imbibe it and take it as part of our own challenge.
Mahesh, you have something to share.
Meeraji, I just wanted a clarification. Are we going to have a study circle like the Katha Upanishad for this also?
I didn't get the.
Are we having a study circle like Katha Upanishad for Gita also? Not discussed.
Not discussed this with
Guruji.
Jaykumarji. So Guruji will tell us. We can actually discuss, because it's a interesting thing to be. Having.
Yeah, the pronunciation, the clarification, everything can be done in that study circle class. Where
Pronunciation and
we will check with Guruji. Check with Guruji. If he gives permission, we'll have that.
yeah.
Because like Venkatramanji said, I try, but I can't by heart everything. But looking at it, at least to read properly, yes, we must reach that stage.
By hearting. Yeah, Maheshi, you had to say something. You wanted to say, please.
So my experience, or at least what attracted me to Bhagavad Gita was, unlike the rest of the Shastram or the any Rudram, Chamakam and all, we are just reciting. This is not a reciting only thing. This is something which we need to use it in our life to get a better in the current life, not after death, not after 4 janmas or something. So that is what attracted me, because you can change your life, your attitude, your right from day one. So as in one of the videos I saw Pujya Swamiji saying that this is a roadmap, or even Chinmayanandaji said that this is a roadmap for life. It is not a, if you are going from point A to point B, when you drive, you take a roadmap. This is a roadmap to go from where we are to where we want to reach. So unless we put this to the use, this is like, otherwise we are doing like a financial planning. You can do as many financial planning you want to do, unless you put it into action, it's of no use. It can decorate some bookcases. That's about it. So that's what attracted me, and I consciously tried to do few things in my life. I think I told this in the class in the past. One of the thing was the Ishwararpana Buddhi and Ishwara Prasada Buddhi. See, those are, we don't need to do anything different, but you can change your attitude. You can change the way you react to things in life. A lot of all these learnings can be put to use today, right after the class or right after you learn. So that's what to me is interesting. So I wish, I don't know about the schools, what they teach in Bhagavad Gita in India. I hear in some colleges, for example, in Harvard, they teach Bhagavad Gita, but I don't know to what extent practical, maybe from a practical perspective, they are doing something. But more than anything else, that is also the reason we need a guru to explain the intricacies or what is really meant in these slokas and put it to in our life. You start using our life. That has been my what do you call understanding of Bhagavad Gita after reading some of these bhashyams written by other commentaries written by other people like Chinmayanandaji and some of the videos I watched. So to me, that is what the biggest reference. So that is one thing. And then the concept of ekatvena prataktvena. So they're like many forms to one form, and arupa ishvara or ekarupa ishvara. So all those things are very, very important, because somehow maybe none of you may agree or may not agree with me, but I think we as a society have come to very ritualistic basis. I mean, I could see that, especially after seeing Gita, I mean, reading or learning Gita, everything is very mechanically we do things without, because maybe somebody did it earlier, or maybe our family, we saw people doing, our neighbors do it, or somebody else doing. That's what we do. But nothing to do to make change in our life. So that is my goal. So that's one of the reason I'm quite excited about learning Bhagavad Gita. So is for Kathopanishad. I want to understand how the learnings can be put to use in my life right now. That's my ambition. I don't know whether how much I will realize, but that's why Bhagavad Gita attracted me. Thank you.
That's true, Maheshji. When I started learning Gita, also it was the same experience. What happened was, like, we mechanically do things and we don't even realize, like, when I was reading, I could make out that we don't realize that there are some details we have to actually be aware of. Then when I started learning, there was one girl who was teaching me in S. Vyasa University. After that, I met one of a professor who has written a book about this. So he was telling me how you become very aware of each and every letter when you're reading the Gita. If it becomes a habit, the next step is not to get stuck to, the name and fame that I'm able to read like this. I get, name and I am very good. I am good at chanting. It has to move from that level to automatically how you can be very conscious in your thoughts, in your speech, in your words, how humble you can be, bring about that humility, and all those things, how you can take the skill of being very, very, from mechanical, you're moving to a conscious action by checking everything when you are reading and learning and by hearting the shloka. And from there, you have to move and you have to take it to your life, where you are very conscious of your actions, of your words, what you talk, how you behave. It has to be very consciously done. Then you are moving from this to another step. Otherwise, if you are stuck with only by hearting the shlokas and getting it corrected, being very aware of all the mistakes, this will only be another way of brushing our ego, like I'm able to, this is one more step. You have created some kind of veil around you that I'm good at this. I can do this better. It should not be stuck to that. That's what the professor told me, which was like absolutely right. We can get stuck to this, like I am very good at it. I can do like this. This is our human tendency. It can be it can be actually deterrence in our growth towards, higher purpose. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, see, I tell you one experience I had when I was in maybe 5th or 6th grade. I mean, I went to school in Kerala. So there, where one of my language teacher once made a statement that, you can, she used to say that you can keep on, you can attend all those days there used to be a lot of pravachanams of Ramayana, other things. There is no video, no TV, no nothing. So all this are what they call Kadakarashipam. The people used to come and do it. And we as a student, I mean, we are young, we didn't have anything much, no other entertainment. So this was the entertainment. So we used to go, and she used to say that you can attend 50 Ramayana thing, unless you understand what it is being taught and put to use. Because no matter how many Ramayana you learn, nowhere is going to, every Ramayana will say Sita is Rama's wife. Nobody is going to say Sita is Rama's sister. You can rest assured. So there's no, if you know once, you don't, unless you put to use, there's no use. So that struck me for a very young age. That's why I'm always want to know what they are trying to teach, rather than just reading or things. It is important, don't get me wrong. It is very, very important. But I learned in Sanskrit in schools in Kerala, Kumar Sambhavam, Meghadudam, all those things upside down I used to chant. Do I remember anything? No. But at least I remember Sanskrit. That is all the takeaway was. So that's why I want to think. For example, I have a question for all of you, because see, we are talking about Paroksha Ishvara, Avaroksha Ishvara, one Rupa is Arupa Ishvara and all. So my question is, do we need to keep all these God's picture in the puja room?
No, in Tamil Nadu, we have heard of Tirukkural.
Yeah, I have not studied, but I heard this.
From bus onwards, and every bank, school, they go on writing one Tirukkural a day and write the meaning underneath. But of course, it cannot be done through Gita in Tamil Nadu. They will apply Tara on that immediately. But it can't be done. But it's all the same, in the like Karnataka and all, they can write a Gita sloka and write the meaning underneath. So at least it will spread their conscious, people will become conscious of it. But at the same time, the Tirukkural has no religion, whatever it is, it is just a sort of moral. And so also the Gita, it is nothing to do with religion or anything. It is just a message of man's behavior, how he should conduct his life and all. So, but somehow it is attached to a religion, the Gita. But wherever possible, if we can write a Gita slokam and write a meaning underneath, then it will, I think, some people will become conscious of that thing.
Like somebody said the other day, Gita is a user manual for human life.
Okay.
Actually, Venkataramanji, sorry, we have one great poet called D.V. Gundappa in Karnataka. He has written Mankutimmana Kagga. And it's just equivalent to Bhagavad Gita. And each and every 4 line has a lot of meaning in it. And we call it as Bhagavad Gita only. Like how we have Tirukkural in Tamil, in Kannada also we have this Mankutimmana Kagga. And at Sandipini Gurukula, we teach even Kaggas also to students.
Prasadji had something to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for listening to you all. My story is different. I mean, how the karma acts, I can tell. See, till 32 years, I haven't spelled a single sloka or a single word in Sanskrit, because I was not born into whose parents, they're good in many respects, but not teaching me or exposing me to any type of Vedanta, or even like Maheshji said, you could chant so many, but may not be remembering. But I haven't chanted anything, not remembering anything. So, but how the karma works, like the day when I came to US, so I landed into somehow to Art of Living, for example. And within few months or a year or so, I came in touch with Jay Kumarji. So from then, we have been, I was working with him in Ashwavidya Satsanga, which was established here. And we had the Gita Jayanti. Every year we have conducted here, almost like several years before, till he left Houston. So every year we used to have so many students coming and chanting, and we do other pujas apart from chanting one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And so it was such a good experience for us, people coming and exposing to the children and all that. And as far as Bhagavad Gita's usage is concerned, I feel, within these few years, I could get into so much of, with the help of obviously Gurujis, and I also read so many other things outside. What important thing, what I noticed is that we need to be in touch every day. It's not that like in Sanskrit class, we attend and just leave, we come out of that. The class is over, we're good. We attend and we come out of it, right? But Gita or Vedanta should not be like that. It's like, I think if I don't spend half an hour or at least up to 1 hour a day, I don't feel like, the day is done. So it's not a fulfillment for me today, unless I go through that. So I think apart from just the slokas and all that is important, but I think it benefited me a lot when I be in touch with knowledge every day, going through, and then at least one question needs to be answered for me a particular day, which I do not know, without which my day is not passed. So because it's so vast, and the life is so small, so unless we do everyday sadhana, most important thing for me is that the sadhana chatustaya keep on, they are causally connected, all of those. So keep on looking at all of the four and the six shatka sampatti. That way we can always improve. So that's what I do. I try to do, actually. So that's my experience all these several years, probably 15 years in US. I could get into so much of knowledge because of my gurus and the knowledge shared by the books. I only follow not only Bhagavad Gita here, but wherever possible, try to look into other knowledge. Assimilation should be done every day. So that's my experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad. Vijayji, you had something to share.
Yeah, Narayan, you were saying somebody in Art of Living was mentioning Bhagavad Gita as the encyclopedia of life. And yeah, for me, the experience has been conscious living. I've become more aware of everything that's happening around me. And every knowledge that comes, there is some reason it comes. That's how I believe. It's not just for the sake of intellectual consumption. It's more than that. So I try to put, to whatever extent possible, everything that I'm listening in the Gita from Guruji, from various sources, somehow in whatever way I can, I'm putting it into practice. And then there's a huge difference because of that. I'm able to see everything as everything is happening as per some design. You can feel that. You can start seeing that something, it's not like something is just coincidentally happening. There is a big design which is coming into play. You can, at least I can see it, like some thought. I don't know, this might be just a coincidence again, but I feel it happens many times, so it's probably not coincidence. So you think of something maybe related to what we have heard during the day, and during that day, most likely same day or maybe a day later, that same thing comes, like reveals itself. Like the other day, I was listening, or rather not listening, a thought of a song came to me. Okay, I don't know how many of you have heard this song. Mera aapki kripa se sab kaam ho raha hai. Okay, so this song, I don't know from where, I have not heard it, maybe somewhere long time. And I go for our satsang here, and that day, this song is being sung. Like that, many things are happening. So I think there is a overall some huge design in play. It's beautiful to really see that happening.
So even I have experienced that, Vijay. Even I have experienced. I feel my explanation to that is what I feel is the more and more you keep listening to this, this kind of knowledge, it prepares us to be more intuitional because we are born like that. We have lost it because of lot of, kalmasha, what they call, we have accumulated so much. Even Guruji was mentioning in the class, there's a lot of ego, which is blocking us from seeing things as they are. Otherwise, we all have the capability to see things as they are. So like birds and animals, they know exactly when it rains. They know exactly when a tsunami comes. So they are safe. Most of the time, you don't see animals and birds, suffering because of these calamities. But we have lost that power because there's so much which is clutter around our that true, intuition, what we have capability to, get the knowledge as it is. So when you get closer and closer to your conscious living is something which is getting closer and closer to your own self, then what happens is we get some signals which are like highly, we wouldn't have got it when there is a lot of clutter in the mind. So this is, which is natural because of satsanga, because of Guruji's teachings. So we don't realize, but actually that is the case. Like the entire universe is preparing a person when the person is ready. That Viveka of Shreya's prayers and everything is clear. To some extent, you start seeing these changes in life.
Yeah, this knowledge has to become the anchor. Other than that, everything else will go away. This is something you can hold on to, and that will bring about a big change.
That's why that intuition is working very powerfully. That's the reason. So, I think Ramesh ji was here.
Hello, I don't know how many people here in Kannada speaking. There are a lot of things going in Karnataka. I am very fond of listening to Guru Raja Karjagi, professor. And he was also in the teaching institution, he was a principal. And then he analyzes, he links Mankatimana Karga and Bhagavad Gita. Amazing analysis in Kannada. Anybody interested? There are lots of videos there in YouTube.
Yeah,
also we have a satsang. Yeah, we have a satsang every week. My friends in Charleston, West Virginia, we do discuss. We pick up a topic and then one lecture, and then we discuss in detail how his approach is. It's an amazing thing. Number two, when I started listening to Jaikumarji, I came up with one of our friends suggested Sarvapriyananda. Swami Sarvapriyananda is a current president of Vivekananda Institute in New York. His lectures also you can get on YouTube and then on podcast. And there is amazing analysis of each chapter, and then each sloka he does about 1 hour, sometimes more. And also it is all the Upanishads, and then I got an in-depth knowledge listening to them. And also we did listen about Kerala Institute, Tapavana Institute, Narasimha's
Narayanaswamy.
his lectures also very impressive. I feel that we need to more and more I listen to different perspective. We can get in-depth knowledge, and most important thing is not just listening to it, how much we can adopt in the life. That is more important. And every week, 2 times with Jaikumar ji, we have an open heart discussion in satsang. It is a good experience for me. And then last but not the least is Parama Vedanta Society. It's a group of people. One neurosurgeon, Dr. Hegde, Apollo Hospital, Bangalore. He has assembled quite a few professionals. Many of them, they're physicians, software engineers, and administrators, and they do PowerPoint presentation. Excellent. Anybody is interested, just type in like a Parama Vedanta. They completed Bhagavad Gita, all Upanishads, and then Chinmayananda's lectures. And it is an amazing presentation. Anybody wants to see the PowerPoint presentation is very professionally done. There is so much going on there, and then it's very impressive. That's a few words I want to tell.
Thank you, Rishi. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yes, Maheshi, unmute.
I think it's past almost 8:50. I mean, 1 hour and 15 minutes. So one thing I noticed now, even before we started on Bhagavad Gita, 1 year I learned Tattva Bodha, which I was told is the foundation for Bhagavad Gita to understand better. So with all that, one thing is a paradigm shift in our thinking, or whatever we have learned. We used to say, whatever you learned so far in your life, you unlearn and you learn new things. So try to look at things in a different way. To me, that has been also a very profound experience, or a profound impact. How I look things. I think those are to me, so far, key learnings from Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I have maybe several questions or doubts. Maybe we'll discuss that some other time, because almost 8.
Yeah, Maheshi. And Rameshji was mentioning about Gurraj. He is very good. Even I have heard some of his lectures. He shares, and his memory is, I really admire his memory. He keeps a track of all the experiences and puts it into use when he's interacting with people. It's amazing to hear his talks. And as Maheshi was asking if there are too many gods, or is it really required? He was asking, which is a very important question. So one aspect to it, I'm not concluding on anything. Everybody could be having, each one could be having their own opinion about it. What I feel, if it has been passed on from generations, for example, you have some idols and gods which has been passed on by generations, and then they have a kind of seen and brought about the feeling of that worship of God in that murti or in that photo or frame or whatever it is, then I think we appreciate that, respect it and keep it, and we also try to get some, definitely it would have benefited them. And when we see a person, as we go and learn more and more Shastram, we see a person, we look at the positive points of a person. If you have all observed, we don't too much look at the negative aspect of any person. It is like positive, what we can imbibe from them. So similarly, when you look at these photos, it should be, as we move further in more and more into this journey, anything should be only to remind us those qualities and just stick to it, rather than falling from where we are. Because it's very easy for us to, step down. And because of gunas playing its role every day, it is very easy. So these photo frames or idols will remind us those qualities, of what Krishna was or what Ganesha is meant for. So for that, we need to know exactly what they represent and then probably imbibe those. That's what I feel. When I look at the photos, frames, which is kept for puja, it's not like what you're getting out of them and asking. After some time, it is like you're looking at that and you are feeling the importance, like Ganesha, knowledge, you have to stick to it. Take the blessings. Be there for the right kind of knowledge and take the blessings. So it's something like that to me. So maybe each one of you will have your own opinion about it, but that's why it is important, I feel. That's what makes... unmute yourself, Maheshi. Unmute yourself. You're muted.
Yeah, I have nothing more to say.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. This is what I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying because some of the things you make you think what you learn.
Yeah.
It's kind of question what you have been doing. So that's what I'm not saying one is right or wrong.
Yeah,
or
it's
change.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them like, sun goes around or earth goes around sun. Knowing that we don't change anything. But this is one of them, we are used to it. So, something that's something which I've seen, because I've seen, when I was in India years ago, people used to fight across different sects of Hinduism. Like, many times you wonder whether they're doing any benefit or they're harming the Sanatana Dharma. That's at that time I didn't pay much attention, but now learning all this, it makes me wonder.
Yeah.
All this. I remember one of the disciples of Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji mentioned that many of these institutions like Hare Krishna movement and some other thing, they don't want others to listen to anything else. In fact, I have come across, like myself, some of my classmates back in India, they don't want anybody to listen to anything because the institution thinks that if they listen to anything, they'll leave the institution. That is what was driving. Whereas ours is all, you look anywhere, as long as you are learning, you are good. Yeah. Right? It is to remove your ignorance of your opinion, perceptions, whatever you have understood or what you have been given to understand. We are removing ignorance. So if you put blinders like a horse and not to think, maybe you may not know or you may not understand fully, because then it becomes like a cult. That's what cult do, right?
Correct.
Everything, so that is why I am quite keen to know how, for example, Ramanujacharya explains Gita. All this, many things we read here, it looks like, it is all on Advaita Vedanta, right? It's very clear. Many slokas we can quote to think that exactly like that, because Shankaracharya himself has said that and go on. But I would like to see how others look at it. Maybe they are giving I'm not saying he is right or wrong. It's a different explanation.
From the Advaitic perspective, Advaita is the ground of appearance of the Dvaita world. So, I would take that way. So, one important thing which is, apart from all, there is a lot of ignorance around, as we see, right? So, in the Vyavaharika world, like you mentioned, Mahesh, earlier, that it's very important that doing the Karma Yoga is the most important thing, because knowledge is okay. Apart from this knowledge, what is more, the paradigms, all the paradigms are to be used. Because in the Vyavaharika world, what is the meaning, purpose, ethics, morals, these are all very important. So for that, I always think the definition of Bhagavan itself, the Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So when we talk about Satyam existence, consciousness, awareness, and the third one is where it actually links to the value, purpose, and meaning of the life. And I think that is only through Karma Yoga, which at least, at least I can say for myself that I am not to the point of where I get knowledge. So how do I get my Antakaran Suddhi? Only through Karma Yoga. And that is where we have to spend a lot of time.
True.
Prasadji, you brought up this Antakaran Suddhi. I was about to say something, but good segue. But what I was saying, for example, Antakaran Suddhi, what exactly do you mean? To me, it means change in our attitude, change in our outlook. That to me is, it is not like something Antakaran Suddhi, internal cleansing or something. You put some brush and something clean. It's not that. So I don't know the word Antakaran Suddhi. I know Sanskrit is saying. To me, it is a change of attitude, because Karma Yoga is not doing karma, it is doing karma with a different attitude.
Which you mentioned already, like Prasada Buddhi is what is the result.
So that's what I'm saying.
Said that.
Somehow I, as a person, people who are not, including me, are not 100% familiar with all this terminology. If you use, people may not understand. Because that's how in many, I'm telling you, many books I've seen that in Anthakarana Shuddhi is literally translated as internal cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like doing colonoscopy or something, internal cleansing.
See, happiness is final thing, and it should be unconditional. The problem for us
but
is,
I don't know. I'm just curious how this word Anthakarana Shuddhi came for this thing we are talking about. I'm just curious. I mean, food for thought. Why is it called Anthakarana Shuddhi?
It is probably, I felt like it is for something for you to do. It's nothing dependent on the world. So you have to do it. You have to work towards it. And what is the resultant? Fulfillment. So your attitude change is giving what? It's giving you fulfillment, contentment. That is the scale we keep for Anthakarana Shuddhi. The more and more you get, the circumstances are same as it is. Your attitude has changed because it is, you have to work.
So is it the attitude change or something more than that?
Your attitude change for what?
No.
Because you are measuring in terms of experience, right?
No,
Everything is
you are measuring in a, no, I'm saying is the Anthakarana, whatever that change in attitude is, everything you do with what attitude or what purpose in mind you do, right? You go, as we have discussed several times in the class, people go and do some donation to the God, saying that, oh, my son gets admission to this college or something, whatever. So you can turn around and say, maybe you are trying to bribe the God, okay? Or I'll get the lottery, I'll pay you 10% or something. What I'm trying to say is, but this attitude is like, do what you are doing. This is my opinion. Many people, at least people who have not learned Bhagavad Gita like we are learning, if you ask them Karma Yoga, many people think is like doing karma.
Yeah, no, that's a problem, right? Because they didn't understand. They're not ready.
So that's what I'm saying. Because
karma is different from karma.
Many people translate it in a different way. I'm wondering whether it's a better word, better thing for in today's context to convey this, say that it is not cleansing something. Yeah, it is cleansing in a different level, but to understand for people, Samanya Jana, how do we say you because till honestly, including me, till I went through chapter 3, I never understood what was Karma Yoga. I never understood. So I never had a clue. what was coming. I never understood all this Ishvara Prasad Buddhi, and you and Swamiji. If you see commentary of Swami Puja Swamiji, he says every time you do something with an intent of getting something from God or something, that is not accruing towards your things, because you are accruing, you are doing something for something else, not for anything. So these are all, to me, great teachings. I mean, at least for me, people like you, Prasad, because you have been, or Miraji and all, you are listening and learning this for a long time. It may be, you may be already aware of it, but not me.
No, Mahesh, you said actually, you said the definition already. It is not just one word meaning for Antakarana Shuddhi, but you said Ishwararpana Buddhi, and
Yeah, I
then
know.
Prasada Buddhi,
All
Samatvam,
those things,
all those things combined.
Is there a better, is there a different word for today's concept, today's context, compared to Antakarana Shuddhi? That's what I'm saying. I have a feeling that Antakarana Shuddhi is being translated and propagated with the pure literal meaning of whitewashing. That's what Antakarana Shuddhi. Just like whitewashing the house or cleaning the house or something. It is, I have never heard anybody saying this Karma Yoga is an attitude change, nor Antakarana Shuddhi, Ishwararpana Buddhi and all that. Granted, I have not listened to many Prabhashanam and all that, but whatever little I heard, I have not heard. Maybe you all heard this past, I don't know, depending whom you are learning from, because if you are learning to you are listening to somewhere 1 hour, 2 hour, maybe you may not go into that kind of deep. But to me, that's what I'm saying. It's a profound change in attitude. That's all
only danger there is if you say to a person who doesn't know, if you say it's a layer whitewashing, he may think that there is some layer which is covered.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Taken off. So
that is how people are interpreting. Prasadji, that is
wrong,
how
right?
people are interpreting.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have come across, I'm telling you, because I am now that knowing this, when somebody talks about any of these talks, I listen with a different attitude, different outlook. I just don't go and just listen. I see in what way he or she is saying different than what I have learned, or is there giving some additional insights, things. That's what I'm saying. So it's a paradigm shift in thinking. That is personally for me, that has been the.
So what I have seen also is the same, Maheshi, but thing is, like, I feel if you have had enough suffering, a little bit of understanding that there is some kind of suffering which I have to get out of it, then Viveka automatically comes. There is a Viveka where you understand there's something more than cleaning the house for Diwali. There is something more to it. Maybe probably there's something which I have to cleanse also. So I will dig more into the subject and then I will arrive. Why should somebody change an attitude and make an effort to change an attitude if it is not benefiting that person?
No, that's what I'm saying. So unless you know it is
changing an attitude is because it is benefiting me, right? Otherwise, why would I change my attitude?
Actually, it's the other way around, Miraji, because unless I know it is going to change, people will not do it. That is the problem. Right? I need to know. See, especially in the US, anything you do, people say, what am I getting out of it? What is in it for me? That is Prasadji knows this very well. That is what people ask.
So I feel basically there are very few selected, as Krishna has said, and we have to look at it in that way, who can actually understand this, even the small bit of iota of understanding also, and the inclination comes with only a certain maturity. So expecting the entire world to know this the minute it is told to them is not possible. It is not.
Yeah, so the Karma Yoga, as Prasadji said, it is required, because keep on doing with, initially it will be difficult. Like, anything you learn initially, it will be a little more cumbersome, whether it's a new gadget or not, till you get fluent in that. So you keep on doing that, trying to consciously with a different attitude. Maybe after several times, it'll come to you naturally. So that is so. But every time you do, you need to say that, hey, I need to do with this. I need to do this, and I'm telling you, every third time you will forget to do it. Or
why you're doing that? Because you have got that viveka, that
no,
you have that discerning capability. That the thing what I used to do before was not giving me contentment, so I have to pick to something else, and you're but you can't expect the world because they have not had enough.
No, I know. I'm not saying. I'm not expecting. I'm not at all talking about world. I'm talking about me.
So Chitta Shuddhi, that's why, in what context I said was, Chitta Shuddhi would be understood by people who have little bit of viveka to understand that. To tell a general mass about Chitta Shuddhi, it will only be like Prasad ji was saying, no, they will only get it as some sheath is there, just like how clean up my house, I have to clean. Maybe they'll go for an Ayurvedic treatment as Panchakarma or something. So this is which a normal man looks at it like. Unless you don't have that vairagyam, little bit of viveka which has come, then you will not be able to seek the knowledge. And as and when you are in this practice, that is why we have to hold on to that viveka will keep us to hold on to this and try it on in our day-to-day life, and the attitude change is happening. Then you see that, oh, it's giving something. It's something is there in this, and you go deeper. This is how it is. Anyways, I think that's
okay.
Yeah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you next.
Good discussion.
Yeah.